Hello FPL managers, today we go over the best defensive rotations for the new Premier League season. In today's video we have a look at 3 defensive combinations that you guys can use to capitalise on the early points in the first 5 game weeks. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe as we try and hit 8k subs by the start of the new Premier League season, and with that being said, let's get into the video. So taking a look at the first defensive rotation, this one is between Arsenal and Wolves. As far as budget defenders go, I believe these two teams have some of the best assets over the first 5 game weeks, and arguably they have the best fixture rotation over this period. With Arsenal's fixtures of Crystal Palace, Leicester, Bournemouth, Fulham and Villa, they are already very promising, but when you do combine them with those Wolves assets, you get an excellent fixture run. Wolves face Leeds, Fulham, Spurs, Newcastle and Bournemouth over their first 5 game weeks. So when you combine the two teams, you take Wolves for the first 2 against Leeds and Newcastle, then capitalise on Bournemouth, Fulham and then Bournemouth again in game weeks 3 through 5 when you rotate correctly. So since these teams can have 3 game weeks in a row of versing promoted teams, I do think this is probably the best defensive combination. Looking at the assets from either sides, I do like Johnny from Wolves probably the most out of all their options, as I think he is fairly nailed in his wing back role, and at £4.5 million he's excellent value. He did come back late last season after an injury and he was very impressive on his return, getting himself a couple of attacking returns. Max Kilman at £4.5 million is also a decent value option, as I would be expecting him to get starting minutes this season after Saïs's departure. If you are looking for a very nailed option though, Connor Cody at £5 million is probably not going to miss a game all season. This man plays so many minutes for Wolves, so if you want that consistent starting minutes, Cody could be the guy. Looking at Arsenal's best assets now, Ben White and Tomiyasu both come in at £4.5 million each, and I do think they're an excellent way to get into that Arsenal defence, as I would be expecting them to get consistent starting minutes. Ben White was Arsenal's second highest scoring defender last year with 107 total points, as he was able to get himself 13 clean sheets. He didn't get any attacking returns though, but his teammate in Tomiyasu did get 1 assist and 9 clean sheets in just 1600 minutes. Tomiyasu isn't the most attacking, but he does offer slightly more attacking potential than the likes of Ben White, and that's why he's probably the better option. But Kieran Tierney definitely does have plenty of attacking potential, as at £5 million he was able to provide 1 goal and 3 assists for his owners last season. So with a 4.9% ownership currently, Tierney could be a decent one to rotate as a differential pick. Progressing on to the second defensive rotation, this one is another Arsenal combination with them and Newcastle. Newcastle have some excellent fixtures over the first 2 game weeks of the season, which is perfectly timed with Arsenal's fixtures, as they face Crystal Palace away and Leicester at home in game weeks 1 and 2, which is probably not the easiest from a defensive standpoint. But with Newcastle's newly upgraded team and defence, I believe they can make a good start from a defensive standpoint, as they face Nottingham Forest at home and Brighton away in their first 2 game weeks. After that though, Newcastle's fixtures do take a turn, facing City, Wolves and Liverpool as their next 3, so that is when you can switch over to your Arsenal assets when they face Bournemouth, Fulham and Villa. So by rotating these teams, you can face all 3 of the promoted sides in the first 5 game weeks, as well as Brighton and Villa as well, so I do think this is probably one of the better defensive rotations. Looking at Newcastle's assets, I like Trippier and Target as their fullbacks, both at £5 million each. They should have fairly decent attacking potential. If I was leaning towards one, I would go with Trippier, as he had a decent season last year. Since joining Newcastle in just 400 minutes, he was able to get himself 2 goals and 1 clean sheet, so definitely highlighting his good attacking potential there. And then Matt Target was the highest scoring defender for Newcastle last season, bringing up the 100 points with 1 goal, 2 assists and 9 clean sheets. So if you are looking for some good differential options in defence, I do believe the fullbacks for Newcastle could be good ones to target. Also, Dan Burn at £4.5 million is probably the best 4.5 option in that Newcastle defence, as he was the highest scoring player for them at that price. In just 2400 minutes, he was able to get himself 1 goal, 1 assist and 9 clean sheets, so definitely a fairly decent returner for this amount of game time. And from Arsenal, as we've touched on before, I like White, Tomiyasu and Tierney. Now on to the third defensive rotation, and this one is between Leicester and Brighton. This is still a fairly decent rotation, but for this one we did want to avoid Arsenal, Newcastle and Wolves. So if you are looking for some differential options, this could be a nice combination to go for, as Leicester face Brentford, Arsenal, Southampton, Chelsea and Manchester United. Obviously the 2 good fixtures to target there are Brentford and Southampton, both at home, and they do sync up fairly well with the Brighton fixtures, as they have United, Newcastle, West Ham, Leeds and Fulham. So by combining these defences, you can face Brentford, Newcastle, Southampton, Leeds and Fulham in the first 5 game weeks, with 4 out of these 5 matches all being at home. Both these teams actually have some fairly decent value assets, with Cucurella coming in at £5 million, who I think is decent value in that Brighton defence. But if you are looking for a decent value option and a starter, Lewis Dunk could be the go. Tariq Lamptey, also at £4.5 million, could prove to be good value if he can stay fit this season, so definitely looking forward to see what he can produce. In the Leicester defence, I do like Ricardo Pereira coming in at £4.5 million. He was £6 million in FPL just a couple of seasons ago, so to see him at this price is definitely good value. In Pereira's best FPL season, he was able to get himself 146 points with 2 goals, 8 assists and 10 clean sheets. In fact, in just 990 minutes last year, he got himself 1 goal and 3 assists. So definitely a good option if you are looking for value at both ends of the pitch, as he is definitely very attacking. The other two options in the Leicester defence at 4.5 million that I like are James Justin, who will be coming back from injury this season, and Timothy Castagna at 4.5, who could prove to be good value as well. Castagna was Leicester's highest scoring defender last year surprisingly. Despite only playing 2100 minutes, he got himself 1 goal and 6 clean sheets. He is definitely another very attacking asset for Leicester in that fullback role, so if you are looking for a nice differential with just a 1.6% ownership, he could be the go. Thanks for watching today's best FPL defensive rotations for the first 5 game weeks. If you guys want to become a channel member, then click the join button down below and get featured on our members board at the end of the videos, just like Philip Ash here. Also, leave a like and subscribe to show support for the channel, and with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.